So last time we talked about how I actually got the gig of producing the soundtrack for Railroads Online. This time I want to talk about the theory crafting behind how you actually make a song for a video game soundtrack, and then walk you through the process and actually show you how I record music at a high level. So to me, the most important thing about creating a song for a soundtrack for a video game or a movie or whatever is that it needs to fit the vibe and the aesthetic of that piece of media. So in the case of Railroads Online, the activities that we have involve laying track, loading cargo, and flying down the railroad at high speed, dangers at every turn depending on how you lay your track. We need music that can fit all those different activities. Something a little bit more slow paced but very rhythmic for loading cargo. For laying track, you're walking through the woods, surveying, something a little bit more open and spacey could kind of fit that piece. And then for when you're running down the railroad, you want something a little bit upbeat, it's got a good groove, you feel like you're sitting in the seat of the locomotive. Based on those couple elements, we know some good boundaries for what we can do musically. We know what tempo ranges are good, how percussive we need to be, and then the rest is kind of up to us with one important detail. That important detail is that we're not the primary focus of what the audience is actually experiencing within the game. Players are here to play the video game and enjoy it for its experiences, and the soundtrack is just designed to augment and enhance that. You can't have a soundtrack that's too busy, has too many different elements going on, or is too melodic or too complex or distracting, really. It needs to be something that subtly sits in the background, but in the right way that fits the game. So most of the pieces I write for soundtracks like these are a bit more sparse in terms of melody. They do have melodies, but they tend to come and go, and they tend to be a bit more simple, and the harmonies that go with them are also a little bit more simple. It's supposed to be a simple addition to enhance the game. It's not supposed to be something so complex and beautiful on its own right that it takes you out of the immersion of the game and puts you somewhere else. That's not the point. So based on what we just talked about, I want to take you through the recording process of recording a song that is designed to be a song that would be riding down the high iron, we're in the seat of the cab, the engine's working, and we're just bumbling down the line with a bunch of freight cars behind us. This is a song that didn't make the first cut of the soundtrack, because I didn't quite like the instrumentation, that I'm going to re-record right in front of you for the second version of the soundtrack, and I'll post the song itself so you guys can listen to it before the soundtrack comes out. So the first step in recording something by yourself is you gotta make yourself a click track. So you know the tempo of the song, you set up something in the recording software, so you've got that constant pulse of how fast the song's gonna be. Once you have that click track, you can record a scratch track of whatever your preferred instrument is, in my case, guitar. And for this song, because it fits with the melody, I'm choosing my 12-string acoustic guitar. If the scratch track was a particularly good one, you might keep it and use it as a guitar track too. There's no harm in that. Typically, the scratch track is just for song structure. From that point on, you start with the most rhythmic instruments and work your way towards melodic. So once you have a scratch track down, you'll do the drums. Then you'll play bass to that. Then your rhythm guitars, then lead guitars or mandolins and banjos and what have you. Now that we've got all the instruments tracked, the next step is to mix and then master the song. We're gonna go over that another time because I'm sure you guys are anxious to hear what it all sounds like put together. Let's go check it out. So there it is, the first song off the second volume of the Railroads Online soundtrack. I hope you guys enjoyed this behind the scenes look at how the recording process works. In upcoming videos, we'll talk about mixing and mastering, which is the process of actually making the song sound good and sound like a whole piece put together. And we'll also talk about how I write songs, how I come up with melodies and harmony and where those songs come from. And we can get into anything else you guys want to know about music production. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe, leave us a comment down below, tell us what you think, and until next time, thanks for watching.